Hey, what's up, YouTube? Today I had to come up on here and give my 2 cents on the bullshit. Now, what I'm talking about is, first of all, we all know that Tamar Braxton tried to commit suicide. I say about what, almost a month ago? A month ago? But anyway, she tried to commit suicide, and her boyfriend, I guess her boyfriend, fiance, or whatever she was calling him. But anyway, her boyfriend, David Adefeso, he ended up calling 911, and when he called 911, he was just letting them know that she was unresponsive and that she had took some pills and she had been drinking some alcohol. But what really fucked things up is that he went on to start speaking about her being depressed over, her being in a contract with her show and her not being satisfied. And he had been saying all this on the 911 call. And so when I hear this shit, I'm like, oh my God, he's saying too much. He's saying too much. And then homeboy had the audacity to start crying on the 911 call and cussing. And yeah, he was upset because he felt like the TV producers and everything was doing her wrong, and that's what drove her to try to commit suicide and everything. But the more I listened to that 911 call, David, he was crying and everything, and I was like, this dang, it's obvious that Tamar need help because she was going through a little depression and she had reached out and was crying out a little bit before she did what she did. But then to hear the 911 call and to hear David crying like the phone call was about him, and it just didn't sit well with me at all. It didn't sit well with me at all. And I couldn't understand why he was on a 911 call giving all that. I couldn't understand that. I don't get it now. Some people say that Tamar staged it and everything, and I don't know about all that. I don't care. But all I do know is when I heard that 911 call, I was like, when Tamar hear this 911 call, oh my God, she is not going to be pleased. And she's not going to be happy. And they break it up. She will leave him alone. Because that's what I was thinking. I was like, you know what? She needs to leave him alone. This too much. She needs to leave him alone. Tamar got it together. And she made a post on Instagram. And she was just saying that, people was bashing that man. And that man saved her life and all this other stuff. And I was, once again, baffled for the simple fact that I felt like she was giving the wrong man too much credit. Too much credit. That man saved her life. No, that man didn't save your life. That man didn't save your life. I feel like you had a lot of prayers out there, and that's not the man who saved your life. That's not the man who said, it ain't time for you to go. That's not the man. So anyway, now we come to Tamar has a restraining order. Well, David then put a restraining order against Tamar for some type of violence. Now, I ain't go all into the stories and stuff like that, but I just want to give my 2 cents. But anyway, so David supposedly put a restraining order out on Tamar because of some type of violence or anything. And Tamar is saying that something about a murder-suicide, I guess, and I don't know what the conversation was about, but she said something about a murder-suicide. Now, what I did hear was that he was en route to taking her to, I guess, a mental appointment. What type of mental appointment, I'm not really sure, but I know that had something to do with, I guess, her mental and emotional well-being or whatever. He was taking her to her appointment, and somewhere along the line, they ended up having a conversation about his post that he had posted. I say about a week or two ago, and he posted something about, I can't remember it verbatim, but he had posted something about, and if y'all hear all that, I got my window open. In his airplanes. But anyway, I can't remember it verbatim, but he had posted something like, I'm just going to short up, he posted something like, mommies need breaks too. And so he had Logan, and he said his Sonic mom, I don't know who that lady was, whatever, but she was like in her 80s or whatever, a grandmother. But he had Sonic mom with him, along with him and Logan. So they were at the beach with David, Logan, and his Sonic mom and everything. And in it saying something like, mommies deserve breaks too. And it was much longer than that, but I'm just shorting up, and that's basically what it was saying. But when I saw that post or whatever, after, and that was probably like I'm not really sure how further along, how much, many days had passed, but it seemed like to me maybe a week or two, and he had Logan. Well, I mean, that's cool that him and Logan was going to the beach and everything, because Logan, he was excited, and David was too, but Tamar wasn't there, and David is not Logan's father, and y'all not married, and some serious bullshit just happened a couple of weeks ago and everything, and where you was on the 911 call crying and everything, and it, to me, it just wasn't a good look. And I'm not saying, whatever people want to do with their kids, that's on them, but it wasn't a good look. It just didn't look good to me. It is what it is. To me, it felt like, it seemed like he was doing it for clout. Well, anyway, him and Tamar had a conversation, and it must have been about that post, and she let him know that you're not really here for me or really about me. That's what I heard. So, she was like, you're not here for me. So I guess Tamar wasn't feeling that post where he posted Logan and him going to the beach, and moms need time off to themselves too. She wasn't feeling that, and I don't blame her. So I don't blame her now as far as him putting a restraining order out against her for being violent. I don't know about all that, but what I can say is her and Vince, when they was getting down to about to be divorcing or anything, some stuff was said about their marriage. The mother came out saying, she heard some things, and it could have been Tamar really beating Vince's ass, or, there could have been, and maybe it was nobody beating her ass with her, but what we do know is Tamar ain't scared. Tamar definitely ain't scared, because David put a restraining order out on her. I feel like this, as far as David and Tamar, it's just my 2 cents. I'll leave homeboy alone. I'll be done. You put a restraining order out against me, and we're done. We're done. I feel like she moved too soon when her and Vince ended up breaking up, and it seemed like it probably could have been a year or whatever, but I remember the first post that she posted about David, and she was just showing his body, and she was slurping and saying, ooh, Jesus, and all that and everything. I mean, you should have kept him anonymous, because I feel like she was talking about mental illness and everything, and how her mental illness and her depression came from, being in reality TV and all this other stuff, whatever. But once she showed her chocolate drop, and then you basically started the cycle all over again, because next thing you know, David was on TV with Tamar, and it's like, they say he's controlling everything, but like she was controlling. So to me, I just feel like that she was moving too fast. I feel like once her and Vince divorced, she should have took time out for herself and her child, and that's it. You should have been trying to get to know no other man or whatever. If you want to just fuck, then by all means just fuck. But as far as getting into a relationship, no, you can't afford to be in a relationship right now, because you haven't healed from all your past traumas, and you do have some past traumas. So that's my 2 cents on Tamar and David. I think that it should be over. It should be over. Finito. You did a restraining order. That's it. That would be it for me. I wouldn't want to be back with you. Nope. It's too much. Go and be with you and your son and heal and get that peace back, because like I said, Tamar has a lot of trauma that she needs to deal with, and yeah, that's what I be focused on. I be focused on me and mine. Ain't gonna be me, mine, and no dingling and nothing like that. And if you want some dingling, by all means go ahead and get some sometime, whatever, but focus on you. And now as far as my 2 cents about this Joe Budden masturbating his dog, well, we all know he said it. He said, why is he always pleasure somebody else's dog, whatever? And he said, and for everybody who has a dog, has done a little something down there. Well, I have a dog. I have a male Chihuahua, and he still has his male parts. And it's no way in hell I would be there jacking my dog off for nothing. For nothing. I don't understand. And then he will say, because his dog don't have a bitch. That's stupid. That's so stupid. Why not have some like type of hump pillow for your dog? Cause like my dog, he has a big pillow that he's supposed to lay on, but sometimes he be going to work on that pillow, and I'm like this. I don't even care. Do what you gotta do. At first, I didn't like him doing it in front of me, because I'd be like, hey, cause he just sometimes he gets in heat and everything, and he only been with another dog like twice, and I didn't like it. It was very traumatic for me. He got stuck and everything. I just didn't like that, and I just feel like, no, I'm not trying to make him to make no baby, so no, I just don't like it. But I feel like Joe Budden, I feel like it's a lot of shit that's being said about this dude, and I'm trying to figure out like why. I mean, like, first to hear he talk about he was abusive to her, and then he got come out and talk about, you know, there was abusive to each other. And I believe that 25 and 26 you are abusive to each other. But then Sin come out talking about he masturbates his dog. It is obvious that it's Sin that said something about the dog, because before you see her talking about the dog, she's talking about the baby and how Joe Budden be kissing the baby in the mouth and everything, and she didn't like it because he started doing some of the same behaviors to other people when, you know, and she didn't like that. And then she went into how Joe Budden be masturbating the dog. But I don't know what the fuck is going on with Joe Budden. I truly don't. I don't understand why you would think that was normal to jack your dog off, and then to say any animal lover. I love my dog with all my heart. He around here somewhere. Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo. There you go. He right there. Hey, doo-doo-doo. Yeah, he right there. But I'm not about to sit there and jack him off because I think that he needs to be pleasured, or because I think he's backed up. I don't give a fuck if he backed up or not. Taco, you got to handle it yourself, ain't you? That's right. He got to handle it himself. That's why he got that hump pillow. But that's my 2 cents on the bullshit. I just want to get on here real quick because I'm off today. So yeah, but that's what I gotta say. I feel like Tamar needs to leave David alone. I feel like David needs to leave Tamar alone. I feel like Joe Budden, he needs some counseling, because first it's being said that you were abusing Tahiri, and then Sin come out and leak some type of audio talking about you was dragging her somewhere, and now they got you on video of you admitting that you sexually abused your dog and other people's dogs because you feel like they should be pleasured because you are a animal lover. 2020. Anyway, I'm about to wrap this on up. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. When I know I'm out, do say